Hey everybody, it's Monday, December 8th, 2025. I'm Allison Gill.
And I'm Dana Goldberg, and welcome to Beans Talk.
The pipe bomber confessed.
Not only confessed, is definitely MAGA. He was mad because he's an election denier. And now, all of a sudden, everyone on the other side is like, we're not sure what the motive is. Bullshit. You know what the motive is? You probably stereotyped this guy because he happened to be black, thinking he was a liberal, and that he was going to be on our side just because of the color of his skin, which is such bullshit. Because, you know, there's of all shapes and sizes and shades Republicans. Now, all of a sudden, they have no idea why he might have done this. He told you why he did this. You're just not listening.
Oh, you're an election denier. You support MAGA. You were really into that. We have no idea why you showed up on January 5th to put pipe bombs at the RNC and DNC to distract police officers from what was going to happen the next day. It's a mystery. But like, we had our tinfoil hats on last Friday, and because
we were half wrong.
Sort of. I think when we took the hats off, we're like, in all seriousness, the problem here is that nobody trusts the FBI. Yeah. And my big problem is that the FBI purposefully left a bunch of stuff out of that affidavit so that it wouldn't show that he was a Trump-supporting MAGA election denier. Yeah. And they did that on purpose.
Now they're walking everything back. Bongino's admitting his podcast conspiracy theories are bullshit. Yeah. He's like, I'm not getting paid anymore to do that when I'm getting paid again. I'm like, what?
Yeah, Hannity asked him.
Yeah.
Straight up, you put a post on Twitter after this happened and said, there's a massive cover-up. They don't want you to know who it is because it's either a connected anti-Trump insider or an inside job. And Bongino said to Hannity, do you have the quote?
He basically said, I was paid for my past opinions. That's what he said. One day I'll be back in that space, but that's not what I'm paid for now. I'm paid to be your deputy director, and we base investigations on facts. Do you know how many investigations have happened that were based literally on hearsay or conspiracy theories? Or, you know, this was the shooter it had a trans lover and they were flying away to Paris. Like, there's so much bullshit has come out of this FBI when it comes to cases. So I'm sorry if you come forth with facts and we don't believe they are actually part of the case.
And if you say, well, I was paid for my opinions, now I'm the deputy director and we base investigation on facts, aren't you ipso facto saying I didn't base my podcasts on facts?
Yeah, absolutely. My podcasts were all opinion that you took as gospel. That's exactly what he's saying.
The transitive property of fucking propaganda? What is that? Like, what is that even? So, honestly, that's a massive admission for right-wingers to be like, yeah, we were just making money off of our conspiracy theories. And there was no inside job on January 6th. Wow.
I'd love to see it. I'm telling you, you go deep enough into this, they jump the gun on stuff. They don't take their time. They're going to keep stepping on their own dick. Like, this is so fun to watch them completely screw up these investigations, start these conspiracy theories, which they're doing this on purpose so that we all start pontificating about what's going on. And then it comes out that it was one of their guys. It was one of their guys.
Well, they want to keep it quiet and leave out all the facts from the affidavit to not talk about his politics or his whereabouts between December 19th and January 6th. That's completely missing from the affidavit, like what he was doing, what he was planning. All other January 6th affidavits include that shit, by the way, from the Biden administration, at least, to tell the story about who this person is. They left it all out so that they could somehow maybe what they're trying to say is that it's, well, he's a lone wolf, anarchist, Antifa, kind of like what happened with Charlie Kirk's issue, sort of like what happened with the assassination, the second assassination attempt of Donald Trump. Like, don't put out any facts about his politics, and we can go out on the road and spin the fact that this is a lone wolf anarchist, like a radical left-wing Antifa radical.
And then all of a sudden, facts come out, and the guy confesses and is like, actually, that's not who I am. I'm a MAGA election denier. You can put those in the official document.
Right. And where's my pardon?
Seriously, you talked about this before, the blanket pardon that Trump did may actually apply to this guy.
This is a crime related to events that happened at or near the Capitol on January 6th. Yes, the bombs were placed on January 5th, but it's related to the events at or near the Capitol on January 6th. The bombs were placed within a mile of the U.S. Capitol. I'm sure he was being investigated for connections to the January 6th insurrection. And even if he wasn't, he was being investigated for that. And so that should be included. If you want to paint a full picture, you would say, here's what happened between December. He didn't have any activity or communications between December 19th and January 6th. He didn't go. What did he do after he planted the pipe? Did he go to the Capitol on January 6th? Did he not? Say he wasn't at the Capitol January 6th. That helps your case as a lone wolf thing, but they just left it all out so people could foment these conspiracy theories. And we could put on our tinfoil hats, which we're always happy to do.
Absolutely do. Oh, by the way, welcome to my first On the Road Beans talk. As you can tell, I'm in a hotel somewhere in this world. I think we had some feedback once that said, the bed in the background makes it look like a porn set, Dana. Well, there's nothing I can do about that because the light is coming in from one direction and I need you to be able to see my face. Plus, this is kind of nice wallpaper and decor.
I like the geometric shapes, but Dana,
this is what's going to happen.
You have to always get a suite.
Trust me, that's not happening.
So we did have to report some pretty shitty news, anti-trans news today. Two big stories from NPR.
These assholes.
First, they dead named Admiral Rachel Levine. Somebody had to. So the story is that the photo, the official portrait of Admiral Levine, who was at the Department of Health and Human Services, had somebody typed her dead name under her portrait. And they did it. This is what kills me. And we didn't really go into this in too much detail on the Daily Beans, but whoever did that, it happened under the glass. They had to take down the portrait, pull the thing out, take the time to do the thing. Instead of working on, I don't know, health, somebody did this. And I don't know if they did it of their own accord or if they were ordered to do it. I would really like
bullshit quote from them that was like, it is important for us that we focus on the priorities of this country to make sure that the information that's coming out, that, it aligns with biology and science. And I'm like, get the fuck out. First of all, gender, and we've talked about this before, is a social construct. It has nothing to do with biology. If you don't know the difference between gender and sex, that's part of your problem right there. Secondly, as far as I know, she outranks every single asshole who took that photo down and reframed it. That's one thing. The cruelty from this administration, the pettiness for someone that served our country honorably and in the face of discrimination to just dead name her for no reason. No reason. There is no reason.
Yeah. And third of all, your name is not your gender. Lindsey Graham or Madison Cawthorn. I mean, that's just petty.
It is. It is petty. It is painful. It is also painful. And, Rachel put out an incredible statement that was like, I'm not going to let this get under my skin. I know that I've served this country admirably, and I'm proud of the work that I've done, and I'm not going to let them erase that. But it is just unnecessary. These are our human friends and our human beings, and there has to be some little sharp ping in there regardless. But she always carries herself with such grace and stuff like this. And I'm sure has been dealing with this her entire life. And she's not going to let Pete fucking Kegseth or anyone else in this department get under her skin. And at least I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see that.
Yeah. And she's a professional. She's like, I'm not going to comment on this petty bullshit. Well, I am unprofessional and I will comment.
We'll comment. We'll be happy to comment.
On your behalf, Admiral, because a 4-star Admiral deserves respect.
Absolutely. Thank you for your service, Rachel Levine.
Every human being deserves respect. There was also another story about them changing the policies. They're not going to have auditors ensure that transgender, intersex, and non-binary people are going to be protected from rape in prison, which is just horrific. And he's been on this. Trump's been on this for a while. At first, he tried to pull transgender prisoners out of the prison that they identify with and put them in.
Yeah.
And the judge was like, no, you don't do that.
And I have to say this, and I want there to be a point on this, and if I'm wrong, I would love for someone to write in and correct me. That happens to be part of the community. We always talk about this as it affects the trans community. And it does, but this overwhelmingly affects trans women. It puts them in danger because they are making them serve out their prison sentences with men in men's prisons, which they are not men. So it puts them in danger because if you're worried and they feel like men are predatory, you know what's going to happen. They're not talking about the amount of trans male prisoners who now may have to serve out their time in the women's prison because they know overall women are not as violent. They're not as predatory. So those trans men are probably going to be much safer than the trans women are in the men's prison. So let's be very specific. This is an attack on trans women and majority, and it will affect other people, but I want to make sure that that nuance is there because I think they blanket it by saying, oh, the trans community. This hurts trans women more.
Yeah, and I mean, they hate women, and trans women are women.
Yeah, and they have an idea of what every woman should look like and sound like and dress like and be like. I'm telling you, outside of the prison population, all of these anti-trans policies are going to start hurting cis women that do not look like they think they should in our society, that aren't as feminine as they should be. Their hair's not as long as they should be. All of these anti-trans policies are going to start hurting cis women more than they do the trans community. And then maybe they'll do something, but I doubt it because they want to control women regardless of the adjective that happens to be and the descriptor that happens to be in front of that noun.
Yeah, and I think of children too. Like, what are you gonna? First of all, I didn't look very feminine when I was in 6th grade.
I still get called sir.
Are you gonna come into the girls' bathroom at my elementary school and inspect my genitals to make sure? Like, it's just disgusting and awful.
Every fucking
horrible.
Parent in the country that has a child should be up in arms about these sort of policies.
You would think.
Yep.
Something we didn't cover on the audio beans is there was supposed to be today a hearing, a 2-day hearing in the Abrego case, in the Kilmar Abrego Garcia case for vindictive and selective prosecution. The judge in that case, Judge Crenshaw, in his criminal case, excuse me, found that there was a likelihood of vindictive and selective prosecution and ordered an evidentiary hearing and discovery to determine, to go through the due process. And there was, that was mysteriously canceled. Before that hearing was canceled, there was a filing made on the docket under seal, so I don't know what's in there. And after that, they've put in for asking for certain other things for trial. So I don't necessarily think that anything's been dismissed. But my guess, if I had to guess why they canceled it, is that the government's not cooperating and handing over what they're supposed to hand over in discovery, because they've done this before in the Abrego Garcia contempt hearings in Judge Sinise' courtroom, and they've done it over in Boasberg's court. They don't hand over what they're supposed to hand over for discovery and contempt proceedings.
That sounds like a pretty good bet, to be honest with you. And Allison, I mean, assuming every time they fumble this and, it gets delayed, he's safe in this country. He's not going anywhere. That is the case, right? He's currently in custody. Right.
And he shouldn't be. Judge Sinise hasn't ruled on that yet because there is no removal order. And if there's no removal order...
That's probably why they're doing this, to keep him in custody, because otherwise he's probably going to get released.
Yeah. Yeah, that and they just stonewall everything.
Ugh, all right. There's other stuff that's... we talked about this a little bit on the long beans. Grijalva, the representative in Phoenix, is Phoenix her district? The representative from Arizona?
Tucson, Arizona's district down there, yeah.
Yeah. She went to an ICE raid in the area. It happened to be a taco restaurant, and was literally just telling ICE to get out of here. This isn't appropriate. They're not allowed to be here. Wanted warrant. Was not in anyone's face. Peacefully. And they pepper sprayed her. She announced that she was a United States Congresswoman, and they did it anyway.
Yeah. And you brought up such a good point on the Daily Beans that, and Adelita Grijalva brought this point, the same point you brought up in a video that she released on social media. If they're doing this to a sitting Congresswoman, imagine what they're doing to the rest of us.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Continue to fight, continue to videotape these things. I've seen so many people that are making sure that these things are on their phones, their cell phones, if you feel safe having it out there, so that, all of these ICE agents and these people that have to do with ICE are saying, oh, this is what happened. We've got the footage to counteract that and say, that's not what happened. And we are helping and protecting through our civilian filming a lot of these people that are being just disappeared.
Yep, cameras out. Something else we didn't talk about that I wanted to touch on. There's now a Netflix deal to buy Warner Brothers and HBO Max. Yeah. Now, remember, Paramount Skydance wanted to buy Warner Brothers. They're awful. That's run by Larry Ellison, who's a big Trump fan. Netflix is better. But everybody hates this deal because of conglomerates. Like,
it's a monopoly.
Yes. Yes, everybody hates it. Elizabeth Warren hates it because it's, and she, quote, said, an anti-monopoly nightmare. Trump is very skeptical of the deal. He probably hates it because he wants Ellison and Paramount Skydance to buy it and own, CNN or whatever.
Yep.
Filmmakers hate it. The unions in Hollywood hate it. WGA, SAG-AFTRA, everybody hates this deal. So it'll be interesting to see, of course, because of Trump being president and him being in charge of the FCC chair, his opinion is the only one that's going to matter. But if he's deeply skeptical of it, who knows? Maybe it won't go through. I don't know, but
I don't know. I mean, because if you think about all the pressure that was put on taking Kimmel off the air, it all had to do with this merger that was supposed to go through with Skydance, and it didn't happen. And so it'd be interesting to see who they pressure now, or who's making out better on the back end on this. I don't know, but I do know that one of these celebrities, musicians that is at least making out ahead, at least right now, would be Sabrina Carpenter. We covered this on the Beans Talk, I think maybe quickly on the Long Beans, but they used one of her songs in a horrifying ICE video, by the way. And Sabrina put up a tweet that said, take that down. I want to have nothing to do with this disgusting, inhumane video. And they did. DHS deleted the tweet that was using her song. But you had said that they came out and posted something else almost immediately after, which sounds like them.
Yeah, I think they posted another video where they include clips of Sabrina Carpenter's appearance on Saturday Night Live in another horrific and inhumane video. So it's really
they're going to keep pushing it. They really do just testing. Are they going to sue us? Is she going to sue us? What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
I would sue for
back.
likeness
Absolutely.
rights. I mean, that's what I would do personally. But, sometimes you don't want to spend all that money and go through it. But
True.
She did win that initial Twitter battle. They did remove the tweet after hers was, she ratioed the fuck out of them. She got like 2 million views on her tweet and
love it.
Couple 1 point something million likes. It was really embarrassing for them. So they deleted that. And then they're going to try it again because they like to try things again and be embarrassed again. Which is why this week, I think the Department of Justice, Carol Leonnig, reports they're going to actually try to indict Letitia James a third time.
Oh, for God's sake. There is a picture that MS Now put up saying when they couldn't get the second indictment, and it's a picture of Tiz James, and the look on her face should be made into an emoji that just says, try me, motherfucker. Like, the look on her face is like, do it. Just, I dare you. I dare you.
That's what I said before they tried a second time. I was like, please try again and get a no bill, and then try again and get a no bill. And if they do get a true bill, now Letitia James has a bunch more evidence for vindictive and selective prosecution because they keep going back to a grand jury after everybody keeps telling them no. And the previous prosecutor at the Department of Justice, Eric Siebert, said no, and he got fired for it. So it's just... It's going to be...
I call this, they won't let it go because that is admission of losing. They will not let this go.
Yeah. They are done that way. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching Beans Talk. We'll be back tomorrow. We're traveling a little bit. Like Dana said, she's got that cool background there. I might have a different one the next time you see me, but we really appreciate you watching the show. Somebody said that we should maybe try a chop sign-off since Jack chops down the Beans Talk after he leaves.
Yeah.
But also maybe that we're giant slayers. I don't know. We still haven't figured out a sign-off, but this is the end of the show.
That's it. We're done. You can go. Whatever you were doing, you should leave now.
And now back to your regularly scheduled revolution. No, that's too... we'll figure something out. Bye.
That one was worse than normal. Bye, everyone.
I feel like I need to save it, but it's just too late. All right, end.
The end.
With swearing. Daily beans, daily beans.